Okay, we get started. Well, thank you everyone for joining with us today for this late afternoon sessions. Today's topic is a tax agent's guide to prepare and lodge tax returns via SBR. SBR, or Standard Business Reporting, has commenced operations since July 2010, which is a government initiative to reduce red tape, and as part of the program, the current electronic lodgement service, or what you used to hear as ELS, will be replaced by SBR and SBR-enabled software. The transitions has been progressive since 2010, and for March this year, many tax lodgement process will directly be targeted. It's not all gloom and doom as it might sound, and for those who have been embracing these changes in technologies, the early adopters have reaped the reward of cost savings via cheaper costs to set up and manage their business in a much faster and smarter workflow. If you have been using GovReports, then these sessions will give you some insights how others may use the system to prepare and lodge tax returns, and perhaps the hits and myths that you might have overlooked. And for those of you who have not been using GovReport, this session will give you an insight as to how GovReport works and for you to decide whether or not this will fit with your business. To demonstrate the application, we have the honor of having John Kyriakides, who is a registered tax agent with over 30 years experience in tax and accounting. Not only providing service in public practice, but John also has extensive corporate accounting background. In this webinar sessions, John talks about his experience with tax technology over the past 3 decades and his view specifically on GovReport experience over the last few years. So let us hear from John now. I'm going to make John the presenter. Just give me a moment. Okay. John, can you hear us?
Yes. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, and I guess everyone can too. So you've got the control board now. I'm also making you the organizer so you can have the full control of the webinar.
My name's John Kyriakides. I've been working in the corporate world for many years. About 22 years, worked for large companies, seen the technology change over those years. About 2002, after the last large company I worked for went under, decided to work for small business and go into my own practice. So I formed my accounting and bookkeeping practice, and from there carried on to become a full tax agent, the registered tax agent. So since then I've seen a lot of changes in the technology, especially in small to medium-sized business. So I have been using many different systems around for our practice, and you know, the last few years when I stumbled into GovReports, it's been excellent. I've never looked back actually. So from there we love it here. So yeah, I have seen improvements. What I like to do is just show you a few things and some demonstration on the tax, the GovReport tax, and how I use it for my practice, especially when in the busy season when it all happens.
So John, just so that we've got a bit of a guidelines and give a full features of, you know, GovReports or how you use it, would it be possible for you to, how do you normally get started with GovReport as a tax agent? So if you are a brand new tax agent or that coming into GovReports, how do you get started?
Well, when I first got GovReport, what I did is convert all my clients into GovReports. There's two ways of doing it. You can import all the clients downloaded from either the ATO or the system that you're using. At the time I was using MyOp, which it was a good system at the time, but because it was a desktop and they forced us to change computers, change our LAN because of the operating system. So that's why I started looking at cloud and going from there. So what we did at the time, so I'll just show you a bit of the process. I've got GovReport open, and what we did is like anything, you go in, you can do it either manually, one by one. So if you get a new client, you add up, go in, say okay, if it's an individual or non-individual. So non-individual, it's companies, trust and other entities. So individual is sole trader, and as it says, individual. So what we have is the basic screen. So you got to put in to start the tax file number, basic stuff. Once you start from there, you can upload or connect to the ATO. So yeah, so this is a good feature as well. So when that's what I started, or the other way we did is import all the clients from other software. So so you can do a mass upload, so from different parts. So you can get it from the ATO or from HandyTax or other software. So we did couple actually through migration. That's how we got started. So yeah, I can start showing you full demonstration if you like, and go from there. So we can get a taste of it and show you some of the features that I enjoyed. And I'm bringing this from a tax agent and my firm, so which I find is a very good system. It has helped me improve the way I do business. So basically what we've got is, as mentioned, new client come in, non-individual, we put in the tax file number.
I might just add that a disclaimer, all the ABNs and the tax file number that you see, or the clients that you see here, sample clients that we use, are for demo or for testing purposes. They are not real, and any figures that you might have seen, so just be aware that it is for testing purposes. And even the environment that we use also, it's a testing environment along with the ATO testing environment.
Yes, that's we are in the training environment here. So basically, once we put a tax file number, it'll tell us it's valid, and this is where you can say if it's a sole trader or normal individual person. So you can click on the structure. So oops. So once you do the basic startup, it should, we can save it, and then we go from there. So you get a screen where you've got different tabs, and it tells you the history of the client. So here you've got the work in progress. The main one is overview. This is where you can get the client details and fill it all in full function. So once you have it up and running, you can it gives you a bigger screen. So the best function, once you've got this up and running, you can go client update. This will connect to the ATO, and at the same time you can add the client to the ATO site. So you don't have to go to the portal. So automatically from here you can add the client to the ATO portal. So hopefully they'll go through.
And because, sorry, sorry, John, I'll just interrupt. Because it's a testing environment, we also rely on ATO testing environment. Sometimes in a live demo, we tend to have an experience where things might not work well as well. So if it has been working pretty well, so what stop you from here? Sorry, John.
Yeah, can't complain. It's working so far. And then you can get a report. The report tells you it's gone through, and it's in the ATO portal, and it's on your portal. So that's one good feature which saves time as well. So as I said, from here you can go and put in the name and addresses and update the client with more information. So you've got residential and postal, so sometimes the client might have one or two addresses and phone numbers, and so the other one is if you've got a secondary, this is an important part as well. So you can get an authority or secondary contact, which could be wife, spouse, friend, and they want you to talk on behalf of the client, so you've got an authority. The other one is the bank account. Like, all these details need to be filled in. Once they're all filled in, the system will work, will flow through to the tax return. Just bear with me a minute. I do have another one that's loaded up with more information. Okay, once we have all the information up and running, we can create the form. So we've got an individual tax return. You hit the forms, and the form drop box will come down. It'll have, if you've got an activity statement, individual, and all the different forms for the client. So you select what you need, and then it should open up, and once it opens up, it'll give us a menu that we can choose what we need to do. Okay, what we have here is the forms that are available, and so to get started, you pick the form that you're doing. So if it's 2015, so you click on that, and a form, the tax form, will open up. So the system is still thinking. So okay, so everything will once everything's loaded, it'll flow through to the form. Because I haven't filled it all in, some of the forms is not filled in, it didn't roll in. So from here we have to save it, and then it'll give us more menus and more choice. The key features is you can fully automated upload or semi-upload from the ATO pre-fill. So what we have at the moment, because we're doing 2015, we've got a semi-upload, which is you got to download the pre-fill into XML and save that, and then upload it into the form. So you get everything that the ATO has, and it be all pre-filled into the tax form. So as you see here, we've got these menus. So once we click that, and it doesn't want to work, don't know why, but
Still spinning, John.
oh yeah, it's slow today compared to previous. Here we are. So you get a menu, and then from that menu we've got this is where the drop box that we get. So you can get pre-fill from the ATO, which is fully automated, but 2015 is not there yet. In 2016 return that was introduced. So what we do, this is a semi-upload. So we get the file. So we grab the file and we say,
John, what happens when if you upload the wrong file? Would that work? I mean, so if I upload the wrong XML file from a different client, would that work?
You'll get the wrong information. It shouldn't work, no. I haven't had that experience. It shouldn't work because it's all based on tax file number and all the criterias. It should come up with an error, but I haven't had that experience yet. So you do got to be careful with the right file, yes. So once we fill in all the names and addresses and etc., it'll take us through each screen. So we can go to the next one, and it'll tell us here we've got the health fund detail, and we can say, okay, it's to spouse for and etc. Like a lot of that came through, but it's a lot of it needs updating. So you put the right criteria. So if they're not right, you delete them, or you can add, or you can adjust. What I like to do is, because I've prepared an earlier version of it, I like to just save this one and show you the other one that I've completed. So it just makes it easier. What I wanted to show you there is the pre-fill and the upload, which is a key time saver for me, that's for sure. There's one here I've got validated. And the other important part is you can connect your job or attach an existing job if you've created it from the practice manager. So once you say, okay, this is a job, a new job, you can fill in the detail, you say when the deadline is, and if it's a priority, and who's it managed by. So you can delegate it to your accountant or staff member. And then here where the job is at as well. So you know, if it's work in progress, you tell it, so and so on. So and then you can always add tasks and other things, what you're doing to that particular job. Once you save that, it'll tell you where the job is and what you've done. So yeah, that's a very good feature. All right, this is
John,
one
has there been much difference in the way that you use GovReport as compared to other software you have used? For example, in terms of in other typical ELS software where you have all the schedules and worksheets, how does it work in the tax return? With GovReports or with SBR enabled software that you have experienced so far?
I found the SBR system a lot easier to use, friendly to use, and helped me tremendously actually. And the best part I found of GovReport, I don't have to worry about if it's updated or not. It's always updated. The problem I had prior my conversion was, what version am I on? Am I on the right version? So that was frustrating, and sometimes I'm behind, and or if the other service provider upgrade to different versions and my operating system isn't compatible, it doesn't match. So when it's a cloud system and you're a small firm, you don't want to worry about too much about IT. So as you see from this form here, I've pre-filled completely, so it's all we've done the same thing. So I've done this earlier today. So as you see here is the healthcare. You fill in the details, and if everything's all right, it should validate well as well. The spouse, you can, if you've got an existing form, you can link it, and you can say here, okay, I want to override the existing information, so you can link your spouse detail into this form. So at the moment I don't have one open. I've entered it manually. So this is another field that we need to fill in if they're under 18, other section of the form that needs, and the other key criteria that you need the system checks as well is how many dependents. So if you put 2 at one side, you've got to make sure it's here, otherwise it won't validate. All right, from here you've got all your income. You fill them in, whatever. I'm not here to show you how to where things go, but what I like to show you and share my experience with is all the schedules that are available as well. So all the schedules here do link back to the form. So you've got capital gain, you've got the termination details, so that links back into the form, individual payment summary, interest and dividend, other schedule which you can put notes and other attachment, and you've got rental schedule, superannuation lump sum. As you see, the other important part, work-related expenses and business worksheet, which links back to the business worksheet in the main form. We've got depreciation and foreign income, motor vehicle. As you see, a full lot of schedules there that is linked back into the form one way or another. So it just depends what are you doing. If you're doing a business return, it'll link back into your business return. And if you're doing depreciation and you've got a rental schedule, Like here, I'll give you a demo. I've got a rental schedule. I can edit and fill in the rental schedule detail. Here is where you can split ownership if there's two, and so on. It'll work all the way through. Once you tell it you've got two, this one is 100%, but if it's say two partners, it'd be 50-50, or four, you'll split it down accordingly. So yeah, and over here, which is good there, you've got pre-existing expenses, which all links back. So, and then you save the form, and that goes into your main form. All right, so that's saved, and we can get out. If the client has more than one rental property, you can add much forms as you like, so you can have up to 6, 7. It's unlimited, so you keep adding what the forms you need, so the schedule. So yeah, at this stage we only have one for the client. So once you fill in all the necessary areas of income, you go to the next one. This is where the rental schedule comes in and fills it in the right aspect of it. This is all the partnership and business returns. So if the client's got partnership, trust, all the income comes back into these areas here. And this is our business. If they're a sole trader, this particular example is not a sole trader, so we didn't do a business return. So this is where it'll all come in. And you do have a schedule for it, so which is important to use the schedule. Put in all the detail. I'll just give you a look of it. And as you see there, you enter all the revenue and the expenses, and that will flow through into the main return. Capital gain, if there's any, it'll flow through into here if you use the form, or you can do it manually. So it's best to use the form, the schedule, and you've got a working paper as well. So, and all other revenue, you know, the last one is other revenue. So if you've got anything else, it'll go in here. As mentioned before, the work-related expenses, this is all the deduction. You can do it manually, add each one, but I always use the work-related worksheet that has everything in there, and it, depreciation and other things link back into this form as well. So you've got motor vehicle, you've got all your this deduction, D2, D3, 4 and 5. So, and you can always add and add a row as you wish for per expense, per deduction. So so once you have all the deductions, and that will flow through into the estimated tax and etc. So over here we've got a tax estimate. You can see the income. It brings in the all your installments that you've paid during the year, and etc. So and you can put all your HECS and HELP fees debt here, so we'll carry forward and it'll tell you if you've got a refund or
Is it possible
payable.
to add notes? Sorry, John. Is it possible to add notes to the schedule, to the worksheet?
There is. That's another great feature that I found as well over here. If the client or you've got notes about the client, you can put it all in there, which carry forward for future. As we see here, you've got an add feature, so you can add all the notes, say what it is, what section it refers to, and etc. Yeah, that's a great feature. So say they changed personal detail, the client spouse changed name or whatever, you just make a note and save it, and yeah, it'll keep the history there. Yeah, so it'll tell you when you done it and what it was. So you can leave it or you can delete it, so it's optional. Yeah, that's a great feature. I use that all the time. So as you see from there is you get a few other menus. Once the return's finish or you want to send it in draft, you can email it as well, so to the client. The important part is make sure the system is validated at all times. So every now and then I run the error just to make sure there's no errors. Early today I had a lot of errors, so yeah, this is good. When you don't get any errors, it's a great thing.
If there is, sorry, if there are errors, does it, like, how do you go about fixing that? So do you list out all the errors and you?
The system will list the errors and it'll give you a point. You click that, it'll take you to that position. So, or it'll tell you what the problem is. 99.9% you can fix it up yourself. There's always that 1% you have to hit or ring help desk. So lately I haven't been ringing help desk, so which is a good thing. That means the system is working the way it should be working. So yeah. And then you've got all the other deduction and D15 if there's income protection or other where it doesn't, deduction don't fit in 15 and prior. And then all your offset go in these areas. And then we get the declaration. So with this year, the system is in 2015. It's working with ELS, and it's the old way of doing business. So with the ATO, once all that's done and complete, everything validated, there's a few things. You can save it in draft mode, you can save it in validated and save it, and or save and send via the digital signature. So what we do for now, we'll save it in queue it, put it on the queue. Because everything validated fine, it should save and take us through to the next step. So it should put it into our queue, so it sits up here. So what we can do then is check it, print it, make sure everything's right, and then we say, okay, we want to send it to digital, send it for signature, so we can send it via our digital signature system. The important part, as I said in the beginning, is you've got to fill all the master. Once it's filled in, the email's important because that's what connects to the digital signature. And once you click on here, it'll take you through.
John, what if we want to download it as a PDF? Is there an option? Can you show us the options
Yes.
where you can download it as a PDF?
Okay. You can, what we can do is, if you want to see it on screen, we can, oops, that's not nice when you have a look at that. Or you can print the report from here. Okay, so you get it on the screen, you say, okay, I want to save it. So you just save it where you need to save it, and so pick your folder, and I'll put it into the client's folder. So say this is the client's folder, so it's saved, and as you see it there, done. So and if you want to go to the client and open it up or email it, you can see it in the folder. There it is there. So and if we open it, it's in PDF.
You can actually directly send it from GovReports as well.
Yes. Yes, you can. So this is where the good feature is. A lot of it, the email system, any email that you do and send via GovReport, you can keep a record of it. So there's the attachment there. This is the standard. You can write whatever you want. This is what will print. You can send it to yourself, send it to the client or other outside. So say from here, send it to our, I don't know if it'll go through or not, but if we send it through, if this is an active email, we just say send.
That won't work because that email doesn't exist. So,
yeah, so we'll get rid of that. So yeah, if the email exists and it's valid, it'll go to, you send it to yourself or the client. And the important part is, you know, I'd like to show you is the email system, which is over here. You've got all, once you set up your email, it's here and it keeps a log, so everything comes back and stays within GovReports if you send it through GovReport.
I just want to make a comment there. With GovReports, you can customize your email settings, so it's anything that you send will be sent from your email rather than from GovReports email as your clients. When you send documents to your clients, it's recognizable that it's coming from you rather than from GovReports. So it is recommended that you, for those that have it, make sure you have customize your email from within GovReports your accounts, so that it will be sent from your email rather than from GovReports default email. And of course, the email log that John is talking about, you can check where it's, you know, like where you have sent it, whether it has been sent successfully or not.
Yep. So yeah, this is all the setting, but say everything's set. This is your email log, so and it shows, like you can see one here, I tried to send it, it didn't go through. It says send, so there you go. So this is all the, because it's a test environment, but regardless if it's test or not, the system will keep all your logs. And I believe it stays for 3 months. Is that right, Tiana?
That's correct.
The history of, yeah.
Otherwise,
All
if
right,
it's sent from your email, then it will be in your sent folder.
Sent, yeah. But yeah, if you send it separate through your email system, yeah, it'll go. You got to keep a record of it, put it into the client, and client folder or client, however you deal with it. What I'd like to do now is show you. We've done 2015. Now we've got to do. I'd like to show you a rollover. And how we do if we've got the same client for 2016. So just got to find the right. Bear with me, as we've got a few here. Just got to find the right form. Okay. All right. This is a client that I showed you completed. So what we do here is again go to forms, select the client, select the form. The income tax form. It'll open the same menu. And from here, as you can see here, it's validated, it's done. So we've done 2015. So you can see here we haven't done prior years. So from this point, if you're doing 2016, so you say start, and it'll ask you the question, do you want to roll over all the schedules? It's important to roll them over because if you've got rental depreciation, that will carry across to the new year. If you say no, you'll start with a new form and then you have to re-enter them or cancel, delete the form that you created and redo it. Nothing worse than you go halfway or nearly complete and you haven't, and then realize there's no schedules in there. So yeah, it's important to put it, say yes on this this part. I've done it a few times, said no, and then had to redo it all again.
So even though you have not lodged you validated the tax, the earlier year, the 2015 tax return, you can still roll over without the lodgement?
Yes, you can. You can say you get a client that didn't lodge for 2-3 years. You can do them all, do year 1, year 2 and year 3. Once you complete each year, you can lodge them all at the same time. Yes, you can. All right, now it's rolled over with the same masters and details. As you see, I have more information. What we can do here again is get the pre-fill and grab the file for 2016. This time it's not, I've got one just here, and we say save. So what this will do is go through and give everything that the pre-fill from the ATO has, and you can upload it. Because we had a file already, and the other thing I didn't mention, because now in 2016 we've got the option to get it automatic. from the ATO. I'll redo that again just to show you. This is the full automated system where you click on that and you can get the information from the ATO. Because this is, even if I click it, it may not work with the ATO. So at the moment, because it's in a training environment. But if you're doing a live one, I would recommend using this. It'll go through because you've got the correct information, tax file number, date of birth, and everything you need. Or you can do SemiUpload like we done there. Alright, so you go check everything, make sure the address, all the detail is correct, and same thing, yeah, so same as 2015, not much changes. We've got 2 and we've got 3, it's 366 for 2016, and we click here, we've got a spouse, and make sure these details are correct. As I said, you can do it, get it automated, or link it if you have the spouse form in progress. You can link it and get the taxable income.
For other tax returns, John, sorry to interrupt. For other tax return, all the schedules, worksheets are similar to that, what you're seeing here?
Well, the non-individual returns, all the other entities, they do have all the schedules. They could be similar, or it refers to the entity itself. So sole trader will have more schedules, and companies and trust will have different schedule, obviously. So so yeah, for every entity it'll have, but depreciation and things like that are similar, yes. Yeah, don't forget to put the dependents. Again, this is important, filling in all the correct information. Again, if this is, I haven't tested this file, we've uploaded, so I'm hoping it all validates. So, as mentioned, if you've got different schedules, capital gain, depreciation, all that, you use the schedules. We will have, I believe, more training modules on more detail on each area of the system.
With other non-individual, sorry, John,
yes.
With the other non-individual tax returns, do you also data entry into the system, or is there a way that you can import data from accounting software into GovReports to prepare when you prepare the tax returns?
That's a great question. There is an accounting system within GovReports. There's GovReport Ledger, which you can import other trial balances from other systems. You don't need, the client can use any system, and you can import it to GovReport Ledger, and from the ledger you can do all the work, and then it flows through to the tax return. So and you can yeah, it'll put it into a worksheet, and then that will flow through into the tax return. So, and then you go from there, yeah. So yeah, it is automated through GovReport. So the suite of products that GovReport has, it's going to be they all link. So if you do any changes in one system, it'll automatically, especially on clients, detail any changes, will update all systems. Yeah, I haven't done any anything on this particular schedule, didn't fill any. But as you see, it carried forward the same detail when it was available for rent, and as you see here, it has exactly what we did previously. So you can go in and fill in all the detail, and that will flow through into this section, so that will come through. Again, at any time you can do a, this is the question you asked before, Tiana, and this is what you get. So what it's saying here, there's a problem with taxable income, you click on, you go where you need to go, so and you need to fix it up. So
in terms of lodgement, John, through GovReports, we have the ALS and SBR channels that you can choose to lodge for 2016 onwards. Do you do you feel there is a difference when you're lodging from one channel to another, or SBR compared to
as an operator, it doesn't, but I found a little bit of a difference where one's quicker than the other. But yeah, this is where we get the declaration here, and then one system I know as an operator uses OSCI, or one uses credentials the old-fashioned way. So if it's you click it, it uses your OSCI, and you go next. Because we've got few errors, we can't technically validate this tax return. So what we have here, as you see, there's two channels, if it's SBR and ELS. So like the new version, it's got a, with the ATO, once ELS is going to go sometime, but no one knows when. But so at the moment the SBR is a lot better, it's instant and they get the information a lot quicker. With ELS it does take time, it just sits there when the ATO is ready to upload it into their system. So especially on lodgement, and if client wants to know some information on if they've lodged or for whatever reason, at least you can tell them, yeah, it's lodged, it's there, and the ATO's got it. So what we'll do, we'll save this on draft, and
just on that as
basically
well.
Basically that's the whole filling up the tax return and the nice features it has. Yes. Sorry, Tiana. Yeah.
Yeah, but just while you were on the SBR and the ELS channel, for those that are unfamiliar with GovReports, if you're preparing tax return, individual tax return for clients prior to 2016, it is by the ELS system, and it will require your ELS credentials for the preparation and lodgement. But if you're using GovReports from 2000 for clients preparing tax return for 2016 onward, you only need to do the ATO software nomination, which is via the ATO portal, and of course ATO portal requires you to have the OSCIs to be able to go into the portal and get it organized. If you don't have access to the ATO portal because your registration is new or whatever, you need to contact the ATO. You don't need to have the ATO portal to get to have access to SBR-enabled software like GovReports, just you can also do by the telephone to the ATO as well to nominate the software of choice that you want to use. And as John correctly said earlier, it's if you're lodging through SBR, it is faster. Not only faster from the point of view when you're hitting the submit lodgement sections, but also when it hits the ATO, it actually goes directly to the ATO database that get processed quicker. So and it's will directly go into the tax agents. If you've got access to the ATO portal, the tax agents portal, it will be in your integrated account balance immediately. If you lodge through ELS, it will take a couple of days, perhaps even up to 2 weeks for it to be on there. So that's the difference.
Yeah, SBR, we all welcome it.
Also, John, do you want to brief on the EFT reconciliation?
Yeah. At the same, if you run a trust account, I was going to show them other entities and then we'll run to, but yeah, EFT will do that. That's a good question. We've got EFT Reconciliation, which if you run a trust account and you can get all the information from the ATO, everything comes through and you can reconcile it, so it makes life easier. At the moment, as we said, this is a demo, there's nothing linked to it, but it's important if you do have a trust account to check it out and make sure it's all set up for your practice. That helps you reconcile it with the ATO, so it is important to keep it, and it gives you for your audit as well, so an audit trail, what has happened and where the money went. So yeah.
Okay, it's just John, we're just running a little bit behind time. If anyone has any questions, John has already covered generally the tax return process. For other tax return, as John mentioned earlier, it is similar process in the way that you access and prepare the tax returns, and perhaps we will cover in a training sessions where we're going through the details with you. But in the meantime, if you have questions, just please unmute yourself and just basically raise your hand and ask questions, I guess. From your end, from my end, it's just basically click on the microphone and it's unmute yourself so you can speak to John or myself directly.
If we quickly show them how many forms there is available, so if we go to a client, just quickly, wrong one, forms. So you can see here the forms that are available. You've got activity statement, company tax, partnership, you know, all the forms, and then you've got the OSR, all the forms. So if you do state payroll tax and other, they're all there. So yeah, for companies. So yeah, no, it's a quite detailed system. Very nice system. I've been using it for the last 3.5 years and I haven't looked back actually. Yeah.
Okay, so now I guess we'll take questions. Anyone has any questions specifically for John?
That's easy. No questions.
Okay.
They all
Okay. So if no one has any questions, we have these sessions just to wind up. We do have these sessions recorded and it will be available on the website from early next week. Or if then there's anyone who has any queries, further queries, you can contact us directly and let us know. And once again, thank you for joining with us today and listening to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you and have a good evening.